Hello everybody, welcome back to our second and final live stream of today. We are in Savannah, Georgia, and we're in the Cessna 152. We're going to do some aerial tour flights, touring around Savannah, and talk about, because I lived there for several years, so we're going to point out a few fun facts and whatnot, and then we are going to have a nice fun flight at the end. So stick around, don't go anywhere. When we're done, it's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting, so do stick around for that. So let's get in here and get our weather nice and sunny, because it's storming there right now. We don't want to be flying around trying to do a tour in inclement weather. So hopefully everybody is still doing well.
Ready at runway 19er, departing straight out.
Froggy 237 altimeter tree 0.041067 at 5. Straight out, departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 19er.
Alright, let's make sure we have some. It said there was thunderstorms in the area, but that might not be 100% accurate. So we have a nice sunny skies. So let's, hello Mick, hello Pithers, hello Chris. Glad certain people don't come in here in these streams, Pithers. Well, you know, it is what it is. People are people, as the song goes. Alright, let's get in the air here and hopefully, oh, docking of the Soyuz. Nice, Mick. I didn't even realize that was happening today. I'm guessing that's on SpaceX's YouTube channel that they're showing that. Or maybe a live feed directly from the International Space Station. Alright, so let's get up in the air here and get our bearings, and then we'll start talking about the Savannah in general. Now, if you guys remember, I did a couple short videos when I was in Savannah a few months back. Savannah was about the Bright Route. Jason's stream was going on about the gaming convention, EGX. Oh, I've not heard of that, so I don't know what that is. Others, and I I have blocked that person, so I don't see. Although I get it that he'll put stuff in the chat continuously until somebody sees it and acknowledges his post in the chat, I guess. But anyway. So Savannah was held by the British for many years. It was one of those, Savannah's, I guess in a way, was one of those places where, you know, if you had a serious debt, and the way to pay it off is you went to Savannah, for instance, and you essentially worked until you paid off your debt. That it was like the land of opportunity, right, so to speak. Well, and we got to find, now this is a large Norfolk Southern yard here. You'll see that. That is one of their freight yards here in Savannah. There's a smaller yard over by Hunter Army Airfield, but this is their main sort of yard. Where, because Savannah is a port city, as you'll see as we get closer over here, there is the, we'll see the, like the, where the container ships will come in, offload their stuff, and then it's moved by rail somewhere else. So anyway, where's I going with this? So I gotta find the downtown part where the Roundhouse Museum is. So Savannah is one of those cities that it's got a rich railroad history. The it was a point of destination for many people. Now there was a lot of I think tobacco was, of course, was the primary. Also cotton. If you look, one of the videos I did do where I took pictures of it, you can find or see pictures of it. The old, where the Mason, the Freemasons, their lodge was also the cotton exchange for Savannah. So anyway, so Savannah was held for quite some time, and then there was about there's markers, and again, if you look online on my Flickr, there's pictures of, or I talked about in the video, the earthen berms that that was like a defense of Savannah, and basically these soldiers during the American Revolution marched on Savannah and were pretty much, it was a massacre, for lack of a better term. They had no way to defend themselves against the British forces there in Savannah. Of course, Savannah was eventually taken. One of the houses, you can actually view the room where the Marquis de Lafayette stayed. Now, he was of course a close advisor and friend to the Americans, to the colonies. France did stand with the colonies against the British.
Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
But they, you could see the room, and you could see the balcony where the Marquis de Lafayette came out and spoke to the people of Savannah once Savannah was had been taken over by the colony soldiers.
Radar contact 5 miles southeast of Savannah, 2,600 feet. Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
So the
cleared through the Charlie airspace, Froggy 237.
There it is, right there, right below us, right off the right wingtip. There's the old Roundhouse Museum. There it is. And then, yep, you can kind of see it barely. There's like that line of stones right there. Those are the markers. Some of them are named for people who died, the revolutionary soldiers who died trying to take Savannah. So yeah, it's pretty amazing to see that actually in person, and you can from those embankments. Now those are replicas of what the fortifications would have been like during that period of time, but it's yeah, it's pretty amazing to just stand there and look at all those markers and think that they didn't have a chance. They'd marched day and night, and then basically got massacred as they came into Savannah. They just weren't able to. There was no place for them to go to try to defend themselves. So we're going to come back around here. Savannah if you'll notice as we come back around, Savannah's basically built on squares. It was laid out in that fashion. A lot of the areas have like small parks in the center of the square where, meetings would take place, whether it was for the neighborhood or for other reasons. So a lot of them have markers in them about the square itself, like historical markers, talking about the history of the area. And there's one that there's a marker for, or not a marker, but a monument to a Native American named Tamachichi, who, by all accounts, had befriended when people arrived here in Savannah. They worked in conjunction with Tamachichi and his people, and to this day, it's one of those things about history that isn't necessarily discussed in school, that not everything was all terrible between the people who arrived here in America seeking a better life and the Native Americans. So anyways, so yeah, all this, there's a lot of squares. It's a lot of it. The houses were, of course, owned. The bigger houses were owned by very wealthy people, usually plantation owners or other, bankers, people of prominence, whatever. And then I've got coming up here now. This is right here. That should be Foresight Park right there. Yeah, that's Foresight Park right here. Now, Foresight Park is one of the major parks in Savannah. It was, you got tennis courts, and I think some basketball courts are down there as well. There's a very posh hotel right over here off the right wingtip. It was a parade ground for the militia for many years. Now, also, talking military-wise, the 8th Army Air Force was headquartered in Savannah. And the building, let's come back, going not far, it's very close to the, just as we came over, that tip where we saw those tennis courts.
Airspace radar service terminated. Squawk 1200. Frequency change.
They
Squawk 1200. Frequency
the
change.
building where
Froggy 237.
Air Force was headquartered.
Savannah approach Froggy 237 is type
it's
Cessna
a
152
now I think a
miles northeast of
VFW,
Hunter, 800 feet.
Veterans of Foreign
Request flight
Wars
following.
location, and then they also have a kind of a period sort of a place called Betty Bombers. It's, you got hamburgers, typical American food, but it's
Contact 5 miles northeast of Hunter, 800 feet. Altimeter 29.9.
yep, that's us.
Roger, Froggy 237.
So yeah, right along that street, right there off the right tip there is where that building is.
120
And then I used to
Froggy
take oil
237.
painting classes in a
Savannah
building
approach, Froggy
right
237, 800
there.
feet.
Froggy 237, approach altimeter 29.92, continue as planned.
So, and we'll talk about Hunter here in a little bit. That's where my last duty station was, here in Savannah. It used to be an Air Force base before it became an Army airfield, where it's all pretty much helicopters of different types. You have Apaches, Chinooks, Black Hawks, the Little Birds. So yeah, is all at Hunter, and a few other types of aircraft that I will not discuss. But yeah, and we'll talk about that here shortly. But Savannah lots of history. Now the historic district, and I think I've talked about this before. If I'm repeating myself, I apologize. But in the historic district of Savannah, the closer you get to the river, the Savannah River, you're technically in the historic district. Now, if you own a house
To transition Charlie airspace.
in the historic district, it is very strict rules about that house ownership. So if you want to make modifications, the Historic Society has to approve it. If you want to repaint your house, there's only a select bit of colors that you can choose from. You cannot deviate from that list. So that's something that people, if you've got the money, a lot of people, oh, I'd like to own this house, but then when there's a lot of rules that govern that house ownership, because they want to keep the historic district as original looking as possible. And that kind of adds to the charm of the area, whether you like it or not, but that's what the intent, of course, is. Some of the bigger houses you can take a tour of. The house that was featured in the movie Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, you can tour the house where that murder took place, that was featured and discussed in the movie, which is a, to this day, that book and that movie put Savannah on the map. Savannah, for all intents and purposes, was kind of falling apart. But when Clint Eastwood made that movie, it totally changed Savannah. In some ways, maybe for the better. There is a cafe that you can actually go and eat at, that the cast, that's where they would have breakfast at. And they've got pictures of everybody there. Over here is a convention center, right here off the right wingtip. There is a nice, very nice hotel right here. And as you can see, as we come around here, there is a golf course and a racetrack. Now, the racetrack, on Hutchinson Island, that's what this area is called right here, Hutchinson Island. That's where the pit lane is right there, and some of the paddock stuff is located there. But this track is only generally used about once a year in conjunction with the Hilton Head Concours d'Elegance. So you have the Savannah Speed Classics one weekend, and then the following weekend is you have the Hilton Head Concours d'Elegance in Hilton Head, South Carolina, which isn't far from here. And it's usually on a golf course. Most concourses now are either in a very nice park or on a golf course. And because usually like the bigger ones have the access, there's parking somewhere, it's easily accessible by a shuttle bus or whatever. But anyway, yeah. So I went to one race there one year, and got you can see the pictures on my Flickr of that. And then you have the historic district. The river walk basically starts. We'll come back around, and I'm going to try to drop down a little bit here. We cannot go under the bridge. If you know, there is something that's blocking underneath the bridge. We cannot go underneath it. I tried before just to see if it was just like something that was there, but it was it was going to allow us through, and it doesn't. So we cannot fly under the bridge. But so yeah, you have the river walk. There's a lot of touristy sort of shops. Really good restaurants. A lot of it's just pub food in a lot of ways. But it's a cool place. There is a Marriott, or no, that's a Hyatt hotel. The street, you can walk underneath the hotel. And they can drive. Now it did have for some time, and I think they're trying to repair the lines, but it does have like a street trolley that goes basically from this area here down to the end and back. It's just, there's only one track, and so it just goes back and forth. So yeah, it's a really cool place. The Savannah College of Art and Design, they do a lot for the area. If a building comes for sale that has some sort of historic significance, they try to buy it up so it doesn't get destroyed. A lot of it's either turned into offices for the school or student housing. So yeah, they're very big about that. Over here off the left wing tip is the original train station for Savannah, and it's been turned into a museum of sorts about the area and train travel during the time of steam trains. It's a really cool thing to walk through and learn about the history of the area as well. Plenty of bars and stuff downtown. There's always something going on. The city market, which is right over. Let me get my bearings here. If I remember correctly.
You're leaving light airspace. Resume on navigation. Contact Savannah approach on 118.4. Good day.
Going to 118.4
I look for the
Froggy
square.
237. Savannah approach Froggy 237 800 feet.
But anyway, City Market is where you have a lot of artist galleries are there. You can walk around. There's little places to eat there as well. I think there's a couple of bars near there. So yeah, it's a very, very cool place to hang out. Halloween time, City Market is like, from what I hear, is like one of the most amazing places to be for Halloween. All the galleries, they host maybe like costume contests and whatnot.
Savannah approach Froggy 237
Froggy 237 Savannah approach altimeter 29.9 continuous planned.
Because they remodeled that whole area. They took out.
Contact Savannah approach on 118.4.
I'm like bouncing between all kinds of different controls here. Because I'm just like in and out of different control space. It might be right here. I don't know when this was taken, so it's kind of hard to see where. Oh, there it is. That's it, right down there. I believe is the City Market area. So yeah, really cool place to hang out. Lots of stuff to see. There's front carriage tours. There's bus tours. There's haunted tours. Savannah is certainly one of the most haunted places in America. So if that's your thing, they will talk about the haunted history of Savannah. Now there is one of the other things that I didn't know. Now this was during the Civil War. Let me see if I can't. There's a cemetery downtown here. It was a very large cemetery by all accounts. When the soldiers from the north got to Savannah, they didn't have any place to camp, so they moved the headstones out of the way and camped at the cemetery. Now the problem is that they nobody knew where the markers went back to.
Savannah approach Froggy 237. Request clearance to transition Charlie airspace.
Froggy 237 Savannah
and I
approach.
think the
Cleared through the
that's
Charlie
the
airspace.
that's the right here is that
Cleared for
cemetery.
Charlie airspace, Froggy
Now this is a
237.
famous Catholic church here in Savannah. I've got some pictures of the inside. It's really beautiful inside. There's a lot of churches here in Savannah. Some are more prominent than others, but you know, pretty much almost any denomination you can think of, they have a church there. But yeah, so in theory, that cemetery goes towards the river, but they don't know for sure how far because nobody made notes of where everything was before the soldiers moved the headstones. So as they, you know, over a period of time, they forgot and just put streets and houses and whatnot were built essentially on top of the cemetery. Let's see, what else can I point out here? So yeah, if you go, this bridge will take you towards Charleston, South Carolina. You go that way also, there's a way that'll take you to get over to Hilton Head, South Carolina. Really kind of a ritzy area. Gated communities in a lot of spots. But yeah, I mean, in all honesty though, it's a really, you know, like they do well when they host the Concours d'Elegance there. So yeah, we'll head up now. This location here, eventually they fought, and I think they finally had to relent, but there are cruise ships that will come into dock at Savannah. A lot of people were very much against it, although it does bring additional money to the area. A lot of people didn't want that, but there's a lot of shipping traffic that comes through here. You know, container ships and whatnot. Some of it, I think there's one time I saw a ship with cars loaded. You know, it was like a car carrier ship docked here in Savannah, and along the, of course, up here in this area where all this freight comes in and out of Savannah. So yeah, really neat place. Let's head over here. We're going to talk about. So my last duty station, as I was saying, was over here at Hunter. We're gonna fly over Hunter a little bit, and then we're gonna request to land back there at the Hilton Head, Savannah Hilton Airport. Now it says it's an international airport. I don't think it handles like major large size aircraft that I would consider like a 747 or a Dreamliner or something that would tell me that it's a international airport. So I think it's more of maybe a larger regional airport. You can connect from there to Atlanta, for instance, and then you can take an international flight. I think that's the best you can hope for. Alright, there's Hunter. Now we're going to... Let's see, I gotta... Now, there's only one runway for Hunter. Now, a story I was told, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I was told that Hunter was an optional landing site for the space shuttle. Now, in theory, I think there's enough runway that if they touch down at the very end over here, they might have enough runway and then some to try to slow the space shuttle down. Like I said, I don't know if it's true or not. Somebody could have been talking out their backside, So I don't really know if it's true, but that's what I've heard. So take that with a grain of salt. So let's see. Okay. So yeah, you'll see right there. There's part of that, one of those yards for Norfolk Southern. It's not nearly as large as the one I saw back over here, but they do have some sidings and stuff. I mean, it's decent size, but it's nothing super major. But yeah. So you'll see down there those red buildings. Those are, I believe they still are, living quarters for soldiers there at Hunter. You have this little pond here on post. Now you see those these buildings right here. Those are big hangars. I've been inside those hangars, and they still have the hangar doors where they would maintain the large Air Force planes that were flown in and out of Savannah, out of this airfield a long time ago. But that's where all the helicopter maintenance takes place there. Yeah, there's all barracks, offices. Matter of fact, there's the clinic I used to work at, Tuttle, right there below the left wing tip. We're just passing over it there. Yep, that's where I worked at before. That was my last place I worked at in the Army before I got out. We used to have over here a small aid station, and I think that's the building there, but that building has since been demolished. It had a lot of lead paint and asbestos. It would have cost them probably way more money to remove the lead paint and the asbestos, so they just took it all down. So yeah, and I don't remember how long after I left there that happened. I can tell you for sure, I have ran on this airfield, and it sucks. It doesn't look like much when you're flying. It doesn't look like this. When you're actually doing it, and it's 100% humidity and stuff, I can tell you for sure, it sucks. So, yeah, especially when you have hundreds of people on the tarmac at the same time. It is not fun. Close to over 1,000 people of different running capabilities. It sucks. So, yeah. So luckily, being a medic, I was like, I'd rather just do medic coverage whenever we had one of those large formation runs. Soyuz has docked. Nice. Anyway, so yeah. What else is there? Yeah, lots of marshland. This very swampy area. Matter of fact, all of Fort Stewart, the other place where I was stationed at here in the Savannah area, it is essentially on marshland, swampland. And it's not uncommon in some of these areas that have like these large ponds that you're going to run into alligators. I knew a lot of people that would go fishing in those ponds, and they'd say, yeah, I had one encounter with a crocodile or an alligator, and that's it for me. I'll not go back. So, anyway, what else over here in the there's an area called Tybee Island. There's only one way on and off Tybee Island. So if there's a major storm, which does happen from time to time, the Savannah area generally is at or just below sea level. So area flooding can happen very quickly during hurricane season. But Tybee Island is a cool place to go hang out and visit. They always generally have a cool 4th of July show, fireworks and whatnot. And you can sit on the beach and watch the fireworks show that way if you want. Yeah, there's always something to do, something to see. During the summer they usually have, and I don't know if they have them still, but they usually have like an arts and crafts fair along the river there. So local people make jewelry, or they sell paintings or their photographs or whatever. There's usually like a live band or two throughout that period of time. St. Patrick's Day is a very big deal in Savannah. There in Foresight Park, where we flew over, there's a huge fountain, and they pour green dye. They go with whoever's like the Grand Marshal for St. Patrick's Day that year. That person and a bunch of kids, they go and pour green dye into that fountain, and within a matter of minutes, all the water turns green, and it stays that way. They pour enough dye in to last through St. Patrick's Day weekend and everything. So, a lot of people. That's a very big deal. So, anyway, I think we're going to wrap up this portion of the flight, and we're going to get ready for our surprise. Who's ready for the surprise? Anybody ready for the surprise? I know I'm ready for the surprise. Hopefully everybody else is ready for it too. Nick, are you ready for the surprise? Nick might be paying attention to the
Savannah Tower, Froggy
so
237,
been ready
is
since
10 miles
yesterday.
south,
Okay.
2,700 feet with Charlie to land.
Froggy 237 Savannah Tower. Altimeter 29.9er 21277 at tree.
All right.
Enter left
We're going to put
downwind,
this thing on the
runway
ground
19er.
first, and then we're going to go. Chris is ready.
Enter left downwind runway 19er, Froggy 237.
Night cargo 13, 16 exit, runway when able.
All right, there's our pattern entry over there. All right, let's get this landed first, and then we're gonna go for the surprise.
Night cargo 13, 16 exit, runway when able.
Night cargo 1316, you better get off. I'm not going around, I can tell you that right now. Get off the runway. Don't be sitting there parking and holding up traffic. Jackass. I will admit I miss flying. I did get to fly a little bit in helicopters, not fly them physically, like just riding in the back. I do miss it
Night
sometimes.
cargo 1316, turn next taxiway.
Night cargo, you numpty, get off the runway. Good Lord. I'm gonna put this thing on the ground regardless. I'm gonna break some law. Breaking the law again. Well, hopefully everybody's enjoyed this portion of the flight. I do like. I think I'm starting to enjoy the aerial.
Turn next taxiway.
I think night cargo either is AFK or they just don't care that other people are probably trying to land at the airport. So, yeah, I'm enjoying some of these aerial touring sort of stuff. I am going to go back and try to fly. Mick, you missed it. I found a tower yesterday in Japan. Somewhat similar design.
Turn next taxiway.
Well, this person's starting to the design of the Eiffel Tower. I think there's a spot I can fly under there, so I might give that a go at some point. I might do a couple practice runs, and then we'll add it to the end of a flight sometime. So yeah, I think I found it after you had gone off for the evening, Mick. So.
Night cargo 1316. Turn next taxiway.
God. I hope this person isn't just sitting on the tarmac. Right, I'm going to go ahead and get some flaps down now so we have time to adjust our plane.
Night cargo 1316. Turn next taxiway.
Oh my lord, you're killing me, night cargo. Get off the runway. What in the... Like, how many times you gotta be told to get off the runway? There's gotta be... I wish there was a thing like you could just kick them. Because if you're not moving after a certain point, it automatically just ought to stop your flight. You don't even get to finish it. Like taxi to the gate or
Cargo
whatever.
1316 exit runway when able.
I wish there was a way I could like file a complaint against Night Cargo 1316 for holding up progress. Oh lordy.
Night cargo 1316. Turn next taxiway.
He's just sitting there. Right there. That's got to be him. Right there. That's the runway I'm going to land on. Oh, I think he's gone now. I just saw it disappear. Maybe he finally quit. Boy. Let's see. Hopefully that's the case. Man, some people. Yeah, Savannah's a fairly small airport. There's not much to it. Like, when you go through security, like, there's not... It's not like other airports where you gotta go, you know, zigzagging all over the place to get to your gate. It's pretty much straightforward.
Foggy 23, 7 wind 277 at tree.
Okay, I think Night Cargo finally gave up.
Cleared to land runway 19er Froggy 237.
Thank God. Alright. There we go. Well, we'll try to clear the runway as soon as we touch down. So people can, if anybody else is flying into Savannah today, we're not holding up progress. All right. There's our runway. The same one we took off from, that's where we're going to land. have ILS lights. I do believe it's an ILS approach runway there. In fact, that's probably like the tower that puts out the ILS signal right there. I'm guessing. There we go. Oops. Plenty of runway here. There we are.
Foggy 237 exit runway when able.
Look at that.
Foggy
We just took right.
237 contact ground on 121.9er.
That's not exactly the way I was
121
expecting to do it, but
decimal
okay.
for Froggy 237. Savannah ground, Froggy 237 request taxi to parking.
All right.
7 taxi to General Aviation parking via taxiway
We'll park this
Bravo
bad
Echo Cross
boy.
runway 28 Echo Foxtrot.
Now, I wish there was
Taxiing
a
to
way
General
I could
Aviation
keep the
parking
stream
via taxiway
going
Bravo Echo Cross runway 28 Echo
and
Foxtrot,
make the
Froggy
change so
237.
that the surprise is going to be an actual surprise. Because I don't want to reveal it just yet, but that's okay. It is what it is. That's how you land and go right off the... Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go, I think. Well, in theory, I would have liked it gone, you know, slowed down a little bit. Have a little bit more time to slow down, but that's okay. We like to do things forthwith and Well, that was you turning off there. Yeah, normally I do tend to in the larger planes, of course, you have to go a little bit longer down the runway to slow down, bring your speed under control so that you can they do have Airbus. Their A320s are parked there. I don't know if, like, I feel like the 737 MAX, you know, like the more narrow-bodied planes are a bit probably more suited for Savannah than something like an A320. But there might be smaller Airbus planes smaller than the A320 that probably do fly in and out of Savannah. So this is kind of a weird way that we're going to go into our parking spot. Wow, look at this. Everybody's waiting for me to come in. I don't know if I should be happy or concerned. I see, like, I don't know if that's like police, a golf cart, and it looks like a fuel truck. Alright, I'm just going to cut right in here. There's no point in me going all the way down there and then coming right in. I don't think. Alright, here we go. Oops. Alright. There we go. Alright. Are we ready? Here we go. This big surprise. So I only have one question to ask. Does anybody know where I can find the highway to the danger zone? I think I know where the on-ramp is. I think it's in downtown Savannah. We're going to go find it. We're going to go find it. How about it, folks? Anybody else ready to go find the on-ramp to the highway to the danger zone? We're going to fly in the iconic VF-84 Jolly Rogers. Look at that. It doesn't get much better than that. All right, let's do this. And we're going to take off from Hunter, fly runway 10 out. Because I tried the checklist startup and it doesn't exactly work, but that's okay. We're gonna do this. We're gonna buzz a bridge, and we may buzz the Hunter Tower.
Hunter Tower, Froggy 237 at runway 10, ready for departure. Straight out departure.
Froggy 237, altimeter tree 0.05, wind calm, departing straight out, approved. Cleared. Runway 10.
Look at that.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 10, Froggy 237.
All right, let's get our weather changed here real quick. We are not going to fly in inclement weather here. I can promise you that. But let's just have a look here. Look at that. That is beautiful, huh? All right, let's light this candle. Ready? Here we go. Away we go. Afterburners off. Right, so we are looking. Off the throttles a little bit. So we're looking for okay, there's
leaving my airspace, frequency change approved.
That's Dutch Island.
Hunter Tower, Froggy 237, frequency change.
Thunderbolts.
Savannah approach, Froggy 237 is type 5 miles east of Hunter, 2,100 feet. Request flight following.
They can't even say what type we are.
Squawk 4454.
Squawk 4454, Froggy 237.
Froggy 237 radar contact 6 miles.
Now I
east of
think
2,800 feet. Altimeter 29.902.
Roger, Froggy 237.
We're going to try a couple passes over the bridge here.
On 121.1. Good day.
There's the bridge.
Going to 121.1, Froggy 237. Savannah approach,
we're gonna light it up here.
1,500 feet.
Froggy 237, Savannah approach altimeter 29.902, continue as planned.
Savannah approach, Froggy 237. Request
Can you imagine in real
airspace.
life? I don't think we will,
Froggy 237, Savannah
Chris.
approach. Cleared through the
I don't know
Charlie
that I'll
airspace.
be able
Cleared
to
for Charlie
get it
airspace,
going
Froggy
fast
237.
enough. Now I'm going to try. I think I found.
Froggy 237, you're leaving my airspace.
Oh, I can't get it.
Zero navigation. Contact Jacksonville Center.
Can't get the swing to happen.
110.85. Good day.
it.
Decimal 85 Froggy 237.
Doggone
Jacksonville
it. I was
Center,
hoping to
Froggy
sweep the
237,
wings.
6,100 feet.
Look how fast we got to that. There goes my eyebrows. No, I don't think we can, Nick. I don't. How far we are away from
121.1 Froggy 237. Savannah approach Froggy 237, 6,800 feet.
That was loud.
Alright.
I figured you guys would get a kick out of that. But look at that. It's just really beautiful. Ooh, we were inverted there for a second. Look at that. Look at that. We're going to fly. We're inverted. Big show off. Let's see if we can go. Oh, except it doesn't have like the sound of the.
Froggy 237, contact Savannah approach on 125.3. Good day.
Going to 125.3 Froggy 237. Savannah approach Froggy 237, 1,800 feet.
I want to try to do the buzz of the bridge. I think I did it with the in the cockpit, but we're going to try it one more time, and then we're going to buzz the tower at their Hunter. Yeah, this plane is not. I'm surprised. I thought it was going to be a handful. I picked it up a few days ago, and I'm like, this is going to be fun. And then I'm like, well, this could be more of a handful than the Eurofighter. It is way, way easier to fly than the Eurofighter. Eurofighter, I tried it. I tried buzzing Savannah in the Eurofighter. I could not get the plane to settle down. It's way more difficult than I thought it would be, but I gotta pick up the Savannah River.
Charlie airspace, Froggy
I
237.
think there it is. I'm gonna try to. We'll hit the afterburners one more time. Okay, there it is right there. I gotta get a little bit more. We're gonna buzz the bridge one more time from the cockpit.
Froggy 237, contact Savannah approach on 121.1.
I'm not contacting anybody right now. I'm flying. Leave me alone.
Going to 121.1 Froggy 237. Savannah approach Froggy 237, 1,100 feet.
Froggy 237, Savannah approach altimeter 29.92, continue as planned. Froggy 237, you are leaving my airspace. Resume on navigation. Contact Jacksonville Center on 120.85. Good day.
120.85.
All right, let's go buzz the tower there at Hunter, huh?
Jacksonville Center, Froggy 237, 4,000 feet.
I see Hunter. We're gonna.
Froggy 237, Jacksonville Center altimeter
Foresight, if you did this in
29.92,
real life.
continue as planned.
We're gonna.
Froggy 237, contact
We'd get in a
Savannah
lot
approach
of trouble.
on 121.1. Good day.
121.1 for Froggy 237. Savannah approach Froggy 237 2,300 feet.
Froggy 237 Savannah approach altimeter 29.902 continue as planned. Froggy 237 contact Savannah approach on 125.3. Good day.
125.3 for Froggy 237. Savannah approach Froggy 237 1,800 feet.
Froggy 237 Savannah approach altimeter 29.902 continue as planned.
Alright, I gotta find the tower first. I think it is right. Oh yeah, I think I see it. It's time to buzz the tower, Mick. Crap. Can I fly through the... Can I fly between the...
Savannah approach Froggy 237. Request clearance to
I'm just
transition
buzzing
Charlie
all of
airspace.
Thunder Army Airport today.
Froggy 237 Savannah approach.
Oh, I didn't get all the way on the
Clear
output.
through the Charlie airspace.
Got my ears covered.
Cleared through Charlie airspace.
All
Froggy
right.
237.
Alright, let's request a time to land here.
Hunter Tower Froggy 237 is 3 miles northeast 2,600 feet.
Got my
south.
eyes covered, our ears.
Froggy 237 Hunter Tower. Altimeter 29.9021277 at 3.
Well, there we go. There's a
Traffic,
surprise,
runway
folks.
10.
Hopefully everybody
Fly left
enjoyed
traffic
that.
runway 10 Froggy 237.
Now the cool thing is when you're flying slow, the flaps automatically deploy, which kind of helps get the keep the aircraft kind of stable. Oops, I gotta come back around the other way there. So yeah, a lot of fun to fly. A lot of fun. Pattern entry there. Come around here and then we'll get this thing set to land. And we'll wrap this up. Yeah, I figured that would be a fun thing to do. Let's see if we can do a... Ooh, uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no, no! Crap. Oh. Oh, my God.
121.8 Froggy 237.
Well, we landed... Look at that. We're in the water. Now, let's see if we can we eject the... Can we pull the ejector handle? I don't think we can. Oh, man. Oh, well. Oh, well. We landed in the water. That's what I get. It automatically went into that flat spin and all that, so, yeah. Oh well, I should have. It was. I think we were going too slow for that, but. So. Look at that, and then the wings just go ahead and fold for us. Doggone it! I wanted the wings to do that when we were flying. Anybody got a fishing pole? Fishing here. I'm on the wrong planet to do a rescue. Oh, matter of fact, all I got to do is find the battery switch, which is right. I found it before. I got to find it again. And then we're just gonna. Once we find the battery switch, we'll call it a day. That's all right. Where did I find it before? No, I found it before. Is it over here, maybe? We'll find the battery switch. There's the alternator. No, I found the battery switches before. Where did I find it at? Autopilot hitting. Oh well, the heck with it. Alright, well, that's it. So, anyway. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. Please do leave a thumbs up on the way out the door, if you would be so kind. Please and thank you. And I will see you all tomorrow on the Rapid Transit line. And enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Map storage box looks more like a snack box. Let's take a look, because we can look into the map storage box. Oh, yep. Yeah. Yeah. Now the cool thing is you can I think I found a way to unlock the canopy and open the canopy, but yeah. So anyway, that's going to be it for today, folks. I will see you all tomorrow on the Rapid Transit line and all that. So do enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Peace. Live long and prosper.